It really do need to be remade with a bigger production. I know I said I was done talking about this, I think, in the last video, but I just got to get this off my chest. Okay, so just in case they actually decide to remake this video, I hope they come across my video so they can at least get an idea of what to add to the storyline and thing. Now, first thing first, they can really do without the very very romantic intimate scene. They really don't need that. That was kind of, I don't know why that was put there, but yeah, whatever. I skipped past it. I'm not watching it. But anyway, it really didn't deserve that. It really did. But anyway, when it comes to the movie, I think in the last video I said that when one of them got sick, of course, like this is in a remake. I'm talking about a remake of it. He gets sick. They find some of the herbs around the college, but there's one that's like a half a day my hike away. So what Wakanami and his other Indian friend decide to go out and go get it. And while they're there, they have to like go through this little, it's an area that's very fragile, and both of them going in isn't a good idea. It needs to leave one person outside just in case something happens. So Wakanami goes in that little small area and get whatever he needs. And yes, he does come against some obstacles like some animals or maybe like some very rigid type of climbing, or the ground might give out from under him and stuff like that. He goes through a lot to get this stuff, but when he finally gets, he goes back to where the other Indian is, which is scalping out the place. Okay, so and when he get back there, all of a sudden you just hear something go through, and it just a screen that's go black. Cause apparently somebody hit him in the head, and when he wake up, he upside down. He upside down, hanging from something, while his friend is being tortured. The other Indian man is being tortured somehow, and they got him trying to get him to swing, if you know what I mean. So, and he saw who the people are. It's the ones who were told that if you see Indians, to like take them out or something like that. Well, Wakanami gets like out of his situation, and he takes out the two men who was trying to take him out and his friend. He was able to get his friend down from the contraption that he was in, and while his friend is gaining consciousness, um, that's when Wakami started thinking, no, if I go back to this life, this could be my life to the end of my life. And then I bring Cleola into this, and this gonna be her life too. So should I continue in this life? Should I continue in this life without Cleola bringing her in to this and just leave her where she at? Because I know she'll be safe in the environment, in the new world, in the way that they're going about life. Or should I just leave this life, this Indian life, my culture, and assimilate like the other guys are trying to assimilate? Should I try to escape? Should I stay? And that's what his mind is at. Now, Cleola, her dilemma is kind of like the Notebook. A lot. There was one comment I saw, and it was like they really didn't like the movie because Cleola left a good man for, she said, some type of fantasy of forbidden love, and she was looking at it more like it should have been more like Titanic, where Kyle was kind of toxic, and that's why he left. And in all honesty, Kyle to me wasn't really toxic. He just knew. A man knows when a man is going after his woman, and he knows when his woman that he loves is interested in another man. So he did kind of go over the rim because of that. But I have to disagree with them, because the person was like, well, if the relationship was a little toxic between Cleola and Richard, then she would understand why Cleola would go for Wakanami. Did I say his name right? Yeah. So, anyway, I disagree with that person on it, because their love story, the Cleola and Wakanami, reminded me of the Notebook. she was with a good man, but it just her heart wasn't with him. Or how about a different world with Dwayne and Whitley? Whitley was finna I think she married Byron, and he was well to do, wealthy man, well to do, loved her, that never said anything bad about there, wasn't abuse or none, but just Whitley, just her heart wasn't for it, and then she had to choose between a stable life, a good life, or to deal with a life that's not as secure. So that to me is what Cleola was debating during that time, or should have been debating. Do I go and live in the woods with economy, or do I stay with this richer guy who I really don't love, but he's stable, and maybe I love him later or something like that, to that extent. And the way that we find out what she chooses is when she's graduating, and no, she says she's in sewing class, right? So we find out from what she sold whether she's gonna go with economy or Richard, whether she sews an outfit that was meant for tribal Indian living, or whether she sews something that's more for the wife of a wealthy man in a new world, which is, I think it was Reconstruction, industrial Reconstruction. It's somewhere around the area, 1890. And that's how we find out what she wants to do. Because even herself has to think about what's going on. Like, she's watching this man friend basically be sick, and she was like, well, we gonna have to come up with some stuff like that too. You know, we have to live life like that. Now, in the beginning, like, I think how it should have started, instead of her watching him get his butt towed up, I think it should have been something else that ran along with that. But I believe that because of one economy, he should have, like, one of the Indians or something should have made a bow out of nothing and just start shooting bows and arrows to practice. And then the dean of the establishment, when the Indians first get there, see that, and he's like, you know what? Can you teach that to our other students, like our other male students, like something like that? And just like, I want them to see that they're not just savages, of why they do what they do. You know, you might take an interest in that, and then, economy is like teaching the guys how to shoot a bow and arrow and how to throw axes and things like that. And just like a sport or some extracurricular activity, nothing fancy. But in the meantime, he finds a way to get Cleola out there and start teaching her some of his stuff too. And then she started teaching him stuff about the new world and how it operates, like politics, because that's what he wanted to learn, so she can really teach him the politics and stuff and how that works. And then I just hope whoever watch that movie and be like, this needs a remake, I hope they find this video. I pray to the Lord they find this video so they can get some ideas. I'm not trying to tell the whole story, but at least get them some inspiration of what to do in the movie. And not only that, but to show us the history behind the guy that had hostility. I forgot his name. But he had so much hostility against Native Americans that he would always try to fight Wakanomi, and Wakanomi was always in it with him. So I liked it, and I just, please redo this movie. It is deserving or a redo, because it is so beautiful what they were showing in the movie. But I don't know if this gonna be the last video, but so far this is the last video so far. But yeah, I really do want that movie to get a bigger production. She really go into depth on some stuff, including her mom situation. Now I don't know if they're gonna like switch that up or not, or really keep it like that. I don't know. But that's my. Oh, and we finally found out about the friend, whether she ever gonna get married or not to this dude. He ever gonna propose, or she might end up with the other Indian. You never know, or she might end up with Richard, his friend. Just plots and twists.